Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. That's a 4x6 bandsaw. Typical, made in China or Taiwan I think actually. That was bought probably getting on for 40 years ago, and it's served me well over the years. I've brought it into the garage because it isn't cutting straight. I did some work some time ago to get it cutting straight, and it's drifted off. So I thought I would just go through the motions and just do a little bit of an exercise to get it all trued up, you know, so I can continue to use it and get some decent cuts out of it. So I'll show you how I do it or what I'm going to do, but I'll also share a couple of little tips as well. Now, here in the UK we have Mart, and I used to buy my blades from Mart. But what I found was there's actually a better type of blade, and I bought these ones off eBay some time ago. Now I can't quite remember. Yeah, you see there, look. Oops. You see here, I think these are bimetal blade, and it's that one there. Yeah, M42 bandsaw blade. It's a bimetal blade, and these blades are more expensive, but they really are a lot better than the standard jobs you can get from Mart. So I bought 3 of those, and this one has been on there for, I don't know, a long time, and that's the first one, and I've got 2 more. So what I think I'll do, first of all, I'll take a cut using that blade, and then I'll put a new blade on and see if putting the new blade on makes a difference in the cut. And then I'll true it up using the new blade. I don't want to true it up using the old blade in case it changes when I put the new blade on. So I'll put a new blade on and true it all up. So let's get a piece of sacrificial metal and take a cut. In this old socket set box, there's a couple of alignment bars that I made. So I'm going to see if I can use these to help me align it. Okay, it's cutting, exaggerating, sort of like that. Can you see what I'm kind of indicating? It's cutting like that for a start. See that? And it's cutting like that as well. It's cutting inwards at the front, if you call that the front, it's cutting inwards at the front and inwards at the bottom. Okay. Let's see what difference it makes just putting a new blade in. Hopefully this one should cut a bit faster. Okay. Right, it's still cutting in at the front, which is not surprising because why would it be any different? But it hasn't cut in as much at the bottom, and that's because this is a new blade. I think the old blade must have been, you know, a bit worn and a little bit out of shape, and it was causing the cut in at the bottom. So I'll make an adjustment here and just see if we can get it to cut a little bit more square. I modified this some time ago, and what I did, I put a little thing there, like a stop, so that I've got something to, if I take this away from the 90, I can bring it back to a stop. So let's see if I slacken that off a little bit to move it like that, maybe it'll come a little bit more square. No, actually, it wants to go the other way, doesn't it? Yeah, it's cutting heavier there than there. So I want to move it away. So I'll slacken these two and just give that a little bit on there. Okay, I don't know how much that's gone. You can kind of tell how square it's cutting by looking at the blade as you draw it up like that. If it's dragging really tight on there, you know it's cut like that. If it's miles clear there, but it isn't, because I can actually hear it scraping a little bit. So I think actually, if I've got it right now that way, it might actually be good enough. Still a little bit. Okay, still a little bit there. So I need to adjust it a bit more. Okay, let's do it again. Tiny bit at the bottom, but nothing at the top. No, that's okay actually. A tiny bit at the bottom, but nothing at the top. And a tiny bit vertically at the front. actually, possibly, can't do it. No, I think it's okay. I think that is about as good as it's going to get, because what can happen is that you can chase your tail. So just to reiterate then, so that one there, I can feel the tiniest rock there. There's a tiny bit. So there's just a tiny bit actually. And a tiny bit more at the bottom. And then there, tiny bit. And a tiny bit there. So it's very close. For what it takes, I'll just try one small adjustment here again in the same direction. Yeah, there's a tiny bit the other way now. And there's a tiny bit this way at the top and a tiny bit that way at the bottom. I think this one goes on here. Let's just try it. So I made these bars a few years ago, so I don't think I've ever used them ever since I made them, so I'm a little bit rusty on how they work. Basically that bar bolts on there and then it comes across. Don't know if I might need to put the light on. What you can see is that it rests on the table and on the thing there. But it is down, it's not in mid-air or anything. But basically I want it to cut out at the bottom, don't I? So I want to lower this side. Just in case you're not quite sure what I've got this angle arm screwed on here, and it's got these two stops there which rest on there and here. That one there is clear of the surface. This one, where is it? This one is on the surface. But if I loosen that nut and push that down onto the surface, it would actually bend it that way, which would make it cut deeper this side. Well, I want it to cut less deep this side. So what I think I'll do, I'll undo this one. I think I'll undo this one, screw it down till it touches the surface, and then undo this one and back it off a little bit. And then when I loosen this and then retighten it, it should tilt that way slightly, like that, which should make it cut out a little bit on the front there. But that's my theory anyway, I'll give it a go. Okay, let's just come down to the surface now. Now this one, which you can't see, I've just slackened the nut. I've just wound it up off the surface. When I press down on the end of here, it moves before it touches. So I'm going to undo that one now. What I don't want it to do is suddenly move sideways. Now when I press down on this end, it doesn't move before it touches. Okay. Okay, let's do a test cut like that then. Not sure what I'm trying to achieve here, but hey. I think it just clears that. Maybe I'll move it that way just a little bit, as much as I can. Yet still be on the surface. Okay. Okay, let's see what difference that's made, if any. If there's a little frise on the edge, it doesn't matter because this has got an undercut there. Right. That feels okay actually. Slightly cut in like that at the top. Slightly cutting like that at the bottom. But it's not cutting in at the bottom, at the front. That is actually very good. I can't... Top and bottom now, that little correction there has stopped it cutting in on the front. I'm reluctant to, well, I don't mind adjusting this one a little bit more because it's the easy one. Right, exaggerated, it's cutting like that. So I need to slacken that and move that way a tiny bit. In other words, undoing a little bit of the adjustment I did before. This one has gone back to, actually, do you know something? Very, very slightly that way, but less than it was that way on the last cut. So I'm going to call it good at that. Can't detect anything at the bottom. Can't detect anything there. Can't detect anything there. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit there. Tiny bit there. But, you know, it's like, it's, what, 5,000, something like that. It's nothing. And it is just a saw, isn't it, at the end of the day? But I think that's pretty good, really, for a little bit of tinkering time. It was cutting out quite badly, to be honest, and when I had the other blades in, once they were, they really used to cut off, you know, it used to cut nearly 1/8 of an inch off at the bottom, over, you know, like that. Okay. So there you go. Typical 4x6 bandsaw. A little bit of quality, careful tinkering, and it's cutting as good as I can get it to cut, you know, within a half hour's work time, let's say. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll do what all the YouTubers do and ask you to subscribe if you want to, and you know, click like and comment. Always like it when people comment. It makes it feel like it's worth doing the videos. I hope you found this interesting, and if you have a similar saw, those brackets are pretty simple to make, and can help a lot when you're trying to get it nice and accurate. Okay, thanks a lot then, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. You get the idea. Okay, thanks a lot then. Bye.